Hey everybody, welcome back to Wargaming Lab. This is our Germany playthrough. In the last episode we conquered Finland, and today we'll be starting Operation Barbarossa 1942. Yeah, we're a year late, but that's okay. We wanted our army to be ready for the make-or-break invasion. Playing as Germany, if you can't beat the Soviets, you can't beat the game. So let's get started on this. Let's talk about our deployment a little bit, just as a refresher, and then we'll get started. So we have Army Group West, which is really just two infantry armies, mostly composed of immobile fortress divisions with captured French artillery, anti-tank guns, and some German anti-aircraft guns. We'll be reinforcing this as we go. We have a small, I wouldn't call it a panzer division at the moment, but a mobile force, basically just to counter partisans, I guess. I really need to beef up France, but that's not an immediate priority. We conquered Finland and Norway in the last two videos, and we have about 100,000 mountain infantry in northern Finland right now. And the goal up here is just to hold on to central Finland and then capture Murmansk so that we can both hold on to our nickel in Petsamo and also capture, one of the two Soviet White Sea ports. The other one, Arkhangelsk, is a little bit too far for us to realistically be able to reach this year. We'll see about next year. Southern Finland, we're kind of just going to abandon it to the Russians. We don't have enough troops to garrison it, and even if we did, it'd be a diversion of effort from the really important push down here, which is to try to get to Moscow this year. We'll see. Leningrad, potentially, and then maybe as far as Rostov. So, in order to do that, we have about 3 million men in Army Group North, just under 1 million, Army Group Center, just under 1 million, and Army Group South, about 900,000. Each army group roughly has two infantry armies of 8 corps, so 8 times 5 divisions per corps and 4 corps per army, so 8 times 5 infantry divisions per army group, and then each has a component panzer army, which has 10 panzer divisions and 10 motorized infantry, which we'll be upgrading to mechanized this winter. Army Group Center is the same. Where is that? There we go. And then Army Group South has a smaller component panzer army of about 200,000 men with one motorized corps, one full panzer corps, 2 SS motorized corps, one of which I think still has one division in construction that'll come out shortly. And then we have the Greater Germany Infantry Division, which is sort of like the elite division of the regular army, and that has a motorized infantry regiment. Actually, really 2 infantry regiments, but the way the BICE works, it just models it as one. A armored battalion, which I think historically was actually a full regiment, but right now it's a battalion. Self-propelled artillery, assault guns. We don't really have assault guns in our army right now, which is kind of ahistorical. In previous versions of BICE, you could have up to 8 brigades, and what I would do with infantry divisions as the game went on is I would either attach a regular anti-aircraft unit for piercing attack. Right now, our standard infantry divisions have 34 piercing, which for the Soviet Union honestly isn't enough. You can see, just to model this, if I were to remove the recon cavalry and add, it doesn't affect our heart attack at all, and add a anti-aircraft gun, or is that, they changed some things around here. Maybe it was the heavy anti-aircraft gun. Yeah, heavy AA brings it up to 49, which is much, much better. So we may be building some of these to feed into our infantry divisions piecemeal, but I don't like losing a recon element. But I think that's just me being OCD. I think having AA instead of recon cavalry in some cases will be a much better choice. So we'll probably do some of that. Anyway, back to the deployment. So yeah, Army Group South most of this armored component is in southern Poland, and that's going to be accomplishing this first encirclement in the Lvov area. And then in Romania, we have 6th Army, which is only infantry, and then, yeah, this Greater Germany Infantry Division. In the last video, I explained our advance route. We're going to try to get to this large dashed line this year. Additional goals would be to get to Crimea, and then this thinner line would be our goal for 1943. And if we can capture all of that, that's victory points enough, I believe, including Leningrad, to cause the Soviets to capitulate. I don't think there are victory points in Omsk, Novosibirsk, Irkutsk, and Khabarovsk are enough to hold on. Sverdlovsk is just 1. So yeah, we might have to cross the river to Kazan. That's 2 points. We definitely need Kubyshev. That's 15 points. This is where their capital will be after we capture Moscow. Stalingrad goes without saying, and then I think we also need to get Astrakhan and Baku to guarantee a victory. So we have 2 years to accomplish that. If we're not done in the Soviet Union by the middle of 1944, we will be overwhelmed by the Allies, because even 2 years from now, we're not going to quite have enough armor in France to defeat D-Day. And I believe the Allies land in at least 2 places. In previous games I've played through, they land around Caen and either lower Netherlands or northern France in the Calais area. And we have to have at least the amount of armor we have right now basically slated for Barbarossa in the west to counter that. And we can't afford to let Italy fail either. So we have, as a reminder, we have 2 panzer divisions to sort of model the Africa Corps, and then we have 2 motorized infantry to back them up, although those won't be available until 1943 probably. Any more than that and we'll have supply issues. I mean, we're already going to have supply issues. You'll see once I land those armored divisions in Libya that the Italian army here is in a really dire supply situation, and that's just because the AI doesn't really know how to manage convoys properly. In past iterations, I would attack Turkey and puppet them, but there was a change in one of the patches that prevented us crossing the strait just directly. We have to have a transport group down here in order to accomplish that, and we may actually be able to do that with the fact that we have access to the Yugoslav coast. In past games, I didn't because that was Italian. But that's sort of secondary to the fact that we have to kill the Soviets first anyway. So let's get into this. So we have 1st Army under von Reichenau, 1st Panzer Army under von Manstein, 2nd Army under von Bock, 2nd Panzer under Harp, 3rd Infantry Army under von Lieb, 4th Infantry Army under Heinrici, 5th Infantry Army under von Wietzelben, and 6th Infantry Army under Busse, Busse is someone else. So these army commanders are pretty decent. The most important thing from a logistics standpoint is that our army group south, center, and north commanders have logistics master at least, because that propagates to every unit under their command, and that includes every piece of their chain of command. So the first thing I noticed is in, I believe it was, just checking here, one of our infantry division commanders, I think it's Lieb, is logistics genius, which is as good as it gets. So I'm going to pull Lieb out of division command. He's a little bit overqualified now. I'll put in, I think these divisions might end up pretty far north. So we'll put in Spec for Winter Specialist, and then that allows me to assign, we'll leave Halder. That allows me to assign Lieb as Army Group Center Commander. And then Brandenburger's a level 4. We could keep him there, or we could just put in. Where did he go? Yeah, we'll leave Brandenburger. He's got logistics master. And then army commanders, I don't think at that level of the chain of command there's a benefit from logistics master. I mean, there's an easy way to test this. So if we look at 21st Corps, 101st Division, with a commander that doesn't have logistics bonus, this division uses 7.36 supply per day. Let's put in... We'll put in Yodel just to test. Okay, it actually does make a minor difference. 7.29. Well, I guess Yodel can keep the 6th Army. Where... We don't have a lot of level 4 commanders that have the logistics trait bonus. Fort Buster. You know, maybe I'll put... 81st uses 6.85. I'm going to put in Voller and see what that does. 6.78, okay. 4th Army. We might actually put some of these guys just into division command because they have really good direct bonuses. 61st uses 6.72 supply. We'll give this to so many commanders. We'll give this to Zeitzler. 3rd Army. We'll parcel these guys out to divisions. Actually, I'll find some low skill divisions to put them in. Okay. We'll give 3rd Army to von Bernuth. Von Bach. Supply is the issue in attacking the Soviet Union, so I don't mind removing some of these high skill commanders to add a logistics bonus. But, you know, we'll leave von Bach for now. 1st Army. And we'll leave von Reichenau. Yeah, it's fine. I end up having worse supply issues in the Pripyat Marshes area, so adding Zeitzler and Voller as army commanders is fine. And then we can parcel out, I think all of these guys are really high skill because they were in the Battle of France. Where do we run into divisions with lower skill? I think it's probably the ones that were in Germany or the Netherlands. They didn't quite get as much combat. Yeah. We'll give Heinrici the 69th Division. A lot of our corps will be attacking as a group, so if there's just one high skill commander per group, that's good. Boos can have 50 or 74th, and then von Lieb can take 78th Division. We may promote them out of division command again, but they can get some division command experience. And then Witzelbin can have 84th Division. Okay. And then we didn't look at our air forces too much in the last video, so, or Navy, at least in the context of Barbarossa. So for Army Group North, we have 4 groups of 4 wings of fighter bombers for air superiority and ground attack. We have 2 medium bomber groups of HE-111s, and then 2 dedicated ground attack Stuka groups. And I believe it's the same for 2nd Flying Corps, except that 2nd Flying Corps also has a transport group for supplies. We're building another supply group, which will be basically required once we get as far as Moscow to maintain supply to our forces. And then we have a bunch of regular fighters coming out, because I can tell you right now that the Soviet Air Force has a just ridiculous amount of planes, so we need to reinforce these quite a bit. We don't really need to reinforce our air forces out west until 1943. I got some naval bombers going because the Soviet Baltic Fleet has just like 100 submarines, and we're going to have trouble dealing with them. And then some additional fighter bombers for Army Group South, because Army Group South right now, unfortunately, doesn't really have an air force, and that's kind of my fault. They should have an air force. We'll have to see if we can send some of Army Group Center's air forces down south if they're needed. And then we have some landing craft for our Marine divisions, which we will either use against Leningrad, I haven't decided, or Malta, depends on how the Italians are doing. We have industry and construction. We have 10 infantry divisions for France, and then 5 more mountain divisions for Finland. And then we're going to just keep on building subs to send into the Atlantic. And that's kind of it. So let's get started. We're going to attack at midnight on the 22nd. Oh, and Navy. You guys can tell I don't have a script here. So Navy, we have 4 flotillas. Our brand new heavy cruisers are in flotilla 1 and 2 with brand new destroyer escorts, and then we have our older fleets 3 and 4 with our pocket battleships, our upgraded light cruisers, and our remaining destroyers. And then we also have our 2 World War I coastal battleships for shore bombardment, and these are only really going to be useful once we establish naval superiority, which we may not actually do, believe it or not, right away. I wish I had more destroyers. The Soviet Navy has... I'm going to mouse over Leningrad, and you can look down to the lower right. They have 96 submarines. I'm not exactly sure why, and maybe there's some kind of code that tells the Soviets to just build subs, but that's what they've obviously been doing. They're pretty low quality submarines, but you can see where our problem is. 96 subs versus 12 destroyers and heavy ships that don't do a good job of fighting submarines. That's kind of a problem. We're going to have to weaken them a little bit with air forces. And then they have 3 battleships, I think mostly World War I era, 12 destroyers, 2 light cruisers, 1 heavy cruiser, a couple more destroyers, and that's it. So yeah, we're going to have some naval issues. It's really kind of irrelevant if we can capture all of these harbors, which I know we will. So we also have some heavy armor that we'll be building to feed into the battle as it goes. We just get some air orders issued here. We got to make sure our factories in Germany aren't bombed too bad. Technology. Okay. Let's get the clock started again. So we need to move our armor to the frontier. So if we watch our plan, 1st Panzer Army is heading for, I think this is the Daugava River. So we need to make a crossing in this area. So let's get our armor forward deployed. And then our 2nd Panzer Army is heading for, switch to terrain mode here. Initially, the terrain's not great. Our 2nd Panzer Army is going to be moving a lot slower than 1st Panzer Army just based on their starting position. But we don't want to get our armor stuck in these marshes, so we need to get to Minsk or just south of it where the tank terrain picks up. And we have a pretty much perfect armored battlefield starting at Uzda all the way to Naro from Fominsk, which is just outside of Moscow. So 2nd Panzer Army will be doing great, I think, once we can get them to Minsk. And then 3rd Panzer Army starts out with the best armored terrain right off the bat. We have a clear shot all the way to Kyiv. And then after we cross the Dnieper, basically clear shot all the way to Kursk and Voronezh. So let's get 5th Panzer Corps forward deployed, 5th motorized, and I'll send 1st SS motorized corps down as well. And let's start forward deploying our infantry in Romania. Our armored forces in Romania are pretty weak, so we're going to be going a little bit slow. We're going to be relying on 3rd Panzer Army to get east quick to give 6th Army some breathing space. Okay, let's get these guys forward. And then 4th motorized is going to go south of Brest. Okay. So they'll be in position by the 1800 hours on the 22nd of June, a little bit late. But our infantry can attack right away, so... Let's issue some error orders. One of the nice things about these flying corps is you can get quick access to your fighter units rather than having to use the select window on the right. So we're going to do some basic air intercept orders right now. I'll go 200 kilometers. There's a lot of Soviet fighters as well. Our qualitative advantage is huge, but we may have to pull back how aggressive this is. And I need to actually do aggressive stance as well, or defensive stance, sorry. Got to do that at the order stage, so I have to do this again. 200. And this just has to do with how often they take off. Aggressive means they basically take off constantly until they drop to a certain organizational or strength level. Defensive, I think, is a little bit more conservative, so our fighters will lose a little bit less strength as the air battles occur, because they won't be taking off as aggressively. And then SG4, 200 defensive. And then same thing for Army Group Center. I might even go a little bit further on the range. Okay, SG6 is going to be the same. And you can see our fighter bomber units, unlike our dedicated fighter groups back in Germany, are pretty green, so they're going to need to gain some experience. Let's see, so SG7. This one's a little bit more forward deployed. I'm going to do a shorter range. And SG8. SG8 we may send south to Romania, but we'll leave it up here for now. And then our actual ground attack units will issue orders manually too. Okay, we could use some more Luftwaffe command units for France. Let's send these out. They're not needed right now, but they will be. And I think this gives us an SS unit in Finland. SS Kirkenes. Okay. That's a crappy SS garrison unit. Let's try KG Nord, which I think replaces it. Also kind of crap though. And then I think we can go all the way to division on the okay. So where did it spawn? Oh, it's down in Berlin. That's not great. We'll move this to Copenhagen for now, and we're going to upgrade this to mountain infantry, and we'll put in a ski Jaeger regiment as well. Let's see, and then it needs a component anti-tank group, so let's put in one of these. Not a high priority in construction, but be good to get that out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be 6, and then we have room for one more brigade. So let's do something recon element like that. Let's do recon cavalry. Recon cavalry are very cheap. Okay, and then this can just stay up in Denmark, and we'll give it a attached, let's see, corps command. Do we want to do that? I mean, well, we actually want another SS police group for the Soviet Union. We're gonna have to build those. We'll send. We have all these core, unused core commands, so let's just get these assigned out. This will be the SS group that goes to Finland. And well, for the moment, we'll attach this to 7th Army. And then this division can be attached to that corps. And then we need to give it a division commander. Von Pfeffer-Wildenbruck. That'll work. Let's just make sure there's not any other divisions that we want to spawn. We need to be careful about spawning these though, because they put in a spawn reduction to our overall IC as a way to model building that division, even though we didn't actually build it. I'm going to spawn these SS infantry units. Okay, those will be really important for anti-partisan warfare, so let me get these assigned. Is that core already full? It is. Okay. So we'll just attach this at the army level. And then where's the second one? Is in Königsberg. We're going to send it down here. Most of our partisan issues are in Belarus, so that's fine. And then these are kind of low quality, so we're going to have to upgrade them, and they don't seem to have division HQs, which is kind of weird. Let's get some brigades going for them as well. Okay, and then we're not spawning those, they're too expensive. I don't think we need any more chain of command for that. Synthetic rubber expansion, yeah, we definitely need that. Airport expansion, 100% we need that. I will spawn these Brandenburgers when we start building our Fortress Buster divisions, which we will start shortly, but not yet. 23rd. Okay, they get there at 11 a.m. They get to the border at 5 a.m. They get to the border at 4 a.m. And river crossing means these guys are going to take a little bit longer. So we'll kick things off at 4 a.m. on the 22nd. So just a reminder, our SS motorized divisions are a little bit different. Unlike our Wehrmacht ones that have a dedicated anti-tank or tank destroyer brigade, these have a light armor regiment, which actually reduces our hard attack compared to our Wehrmacht versions, but the light tanks give us some higher armor value, I believe, than our like less softness value. I think if I look at our standard Wehrmacht motorized is 55% softness and 235 toughness, and then our SS divisions are, I think I have to read, I actually don't have a template for this. I think it's like that, and then I'm missing something. What am I missing? I think it's armored car. Yeah, so lower softness by 8%, and then their toughness is a little bit higher. So I think it kind of evens out. We're going to upgrade these light tanks to medium tanks over the winter. And then it also allows us to turn these into Panzer divisions a little easier in 1943, since they already have an armored component. Okay, it's now the 22nd, so Barbarossa is about to commence. (1 a.m.) 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Okay, 4 a.m. Let's go ahead and there's two versions of Operation Barbarossa. This is like the base game one that creates a whole decision tree that we definitely want to go down so that it's semi historically accurate, ignoring that we're doing this a year late. I don't know what this Aufmarsch Befehl version does. Probably should check the forums, but we'll go ahead and just do that since we're playing Bice, and I'm going to assume that there's reasons in Bice to have this. And as soon as I click that, oh, that's like a pre-modifier. I have to click the regular one. Okay, so it doesn't really end up mattering. So Operation Barbarossa was the code name for Nazi Germany's massive invasion of the Soviet Union in June 22nd. So at least we're matching the month and the day. In 1941, 4.5 million troops of the Axis powers. We're at 3 million, but we're not going to be using the Italian, Romanian, or Hungarian armies in the same way. So that reflects the difference. We may spawn some Romanian units later on, but initially it just actually makes supply more difficult. Okay, so we're now at war with the Soviet Union. Let's Chromite. Let me just check something really quick. Yeah, Chromite mines online, we need that. Yeah, okay, let's get issuing orders. So First Army's heading for Riga, so let's send out divisions like this. I usually do probing attacks just to see where the stronger frontage is on the enemy side, and then I'll redirect divisions as the weaknesses are identified. Second Panzer Corps is not going to do river crossing right away. They're going to head south of Kaunas. First Panzer Corps is going to head north. Maybe we can cut these off. First Motorized is sort of following up to First Panzer, and then Second Motorized is going to head that way roughly. I want to make sure I'm not attacking with the headquarters units because they will shatter. Okay. 4th Army Corps is going to attack straight over the border, so will 5th. 6th is going to advance through the Suwalki Triangle, is what this area is called, and try to force a river crossing in this area. And then the rest of these corps will just do cross-border attacks. Issuing orders is a little bit tedious initially. 3rd Panzer is going to attack straight through. 11th through 15th motorized are going to also attack straight through, but then they're going to move south. 10th Corps over the river. 3rd Panzer Corps over the river. 11th Corps, I'm not going to actually initially attack Brest because I want to get it partly surrounded, so we get some envelopment bonuses before I start wasting infantry on a straight across the river attack. 12th Corps will go over the river, so will 4th Motorized. And then now we're in 4th Army, so they're attacking roughly toward Korosten and hopefully ending up in the Cherniv-Homel area. So over the river. And then these guys are going to actually go across the river on our side of the border first and then attack. The river crossing is kind of perilous. And then I'm going to reorient these divisions so they're less bunched up, and then we'll start attacking. But the most important thing is that we get these surrounded before we do frontal attacks anyway. That corps can just stay there. Greater Deutschland is going to assist this attack by 21st Corps. And then the rest of these are kind of vanilla cross-river attacks, and usually some of them go well and others get bogged down, and we'll reorient our divisions as we figure that out. So we got all our orders issued. I'm going to just do a quick save. I'll call this orders just so we know. Okay, and then we'll start the clock. And unlike up to now, I kind of have to do this entire thing in 1 speed. So if you want to hit the 1.5, 2 times speed thing on YouTube to see things go a little bit faster, you're welcome to do that. There's too many moving pieces to have this on any higher than 1 speed. Okay. I also forgot to issue orders up here. Just make sure we don't need a Turku convoy. Cancel. I don't have a supply convoy to Petsamo. I need to fix that. So we are going to be using these light bombers kind of religiously, but right now they're out of supply. So not great. I'm going to see if they pull any units back from this border once we make progress down south before I attack with 1st Mountain Corps. Our Navy is initially just going to block the Eastern Baltic. I don't think I can actually block the Gulf of Finland right now. I don't think I have the strength for that. And then initially our medium bombers are going to do naval strike, because they're actually not terrible at that. Okay, you'll start to see as the clock moves, the battle symbols show up. Okay, and we got our first air combat in Memel. SG-2 is engaging Soviet medium bombers and fighter bombers. And we can see we're already causing significant damage. So there's some Soviet fighters. SG-1 and SG-3 are now involved. We're going to have to micromanage our air forces too. It's pretty easy to, if you're not paying attention, lose the majority of your air force strength in the first couple of days. Because the Soviet AI is mass issuing orders right now also. Okay, they should move units south. I'm used to them doing that. You can see they're issuing orders to move into Finland. First Corps attacking Palanga is getting shore bombardment bonuses. It's another side effect of having our ships right there. The most important attack right now, though, is getting through Taurage. So I'm going to get... Once this battle over Memel finishes, I'm going to get our Stukas to start attacking right here. Everything else down here is about where we expect it to be. Need to make sure I get 5th Panzer Corps attacking kind of like down this way north of Lvov. 5th Motorized is going to do the same thing for now. I may get 24th and 25th to... No. Yeah, concentration of forces is the most important thing. I was thinking about diverting some to that attack, but it's a river crossing, and if our infantry can't push it, the motorized are not going to push it either. I guess I'll get 1st and 2nd SS to assist. Because why not? Okay, start the clock again. Okay, that air battle's over. Let's get Stuka Group 1 and 2 attacking Taurage, which I think by itself should spawn a new air battle as the Soviets send in fighters. Bombing of Taurage. So there's STG-2. And there's the Soviet fighters. But that should also pull in our multi-role fighters if I set that up right. There they are. SG-1 is there. Okay. When these two finish their attack, I'm going to send them back to base. Okay, that's a really big air battle now. It's pulled in SG-1 and SG-2. And 1st Panzer is now a part of the battle. First major victory in Kaibartai, which is right here. So that's 2nd Panzer Corps pushing through. Okay, STG-2 is back to Rastenburg. We don't have air superiority yet, so I gotta be really careful with my Stukas. Okay. Yeah, and then 2nd Motorized is gonna hit these Soviet units in the rear. We need to do the same thing with STG-3. This is a really important attack right there. We need to get our motorized and armored units through the frontier as quick as possible. Let's get that started. Another big air battle in Poganen. Pogagen. You can see the Soviet commander is a 1 skill, whereas Rudolfer is a 5 skill. We have some stacking penalty issues. They do too, but overall their modifiers are higher. I'm wondering if that means that I should... I'm going to land SG3 in Memel. I think it's a little bit overkill. Or maybe I'm not. Okay. First motorized, I think there's a stacking problem here. First motorized is actually going to head to Ritavas, and then they'll head east through there. Nice. Yeah, we're doing quite a bit of damage to the Soviet Air Force. They're not going to be able to. I mean, it's still early, right? But they're not going to be able to recover their strength as these battles progress as well as we can. Okay, I want to see what happens with the Soviet Navy before we start sending our medium bombers about the place. Our Stukas in the Brest area are not being attacked by the Reds, the Air Force yet. Yeah, so no sacking penalty for the really there, or nothing significant. Oh, we got a Corps Command being attacked. They can actually just retreat, and then those divisions are in position now. It's pretty easy to get overwhelmed with how much is actually moving around at one time once Barbarossa starts. That attack's going really well. 400. It's that river crossing penalty that's really getting us right there. Yeah, it's just these big air battles that are really making things exciting right now. So you're going to see us getting a lot of notices that we're losing territory. That's southern Finland. Okay, we won the Battle of Kavaljar and then Zolkiu. Zolkiu's that first battle to get our armored units behind Lvov, so that's a big deal. Still aerial battles in Memel and Kelm on the border over here. Got some Hungarian fighters that are helping us out. How nice is that? But yeah, there's just a lot of Soviet planes. This is we're winning, but you can see we're taking losses regardless, and eventually we're going to be able to not sustain that either. There's that Soviet submarine death stack. We got to watch out for that. I'm going to do some probing attacks right here and just see how this goes. There's unfortunately, two armored divisions right there. And our bombers still don't have enough supply to really contribute to this. Well, these ones do. Let's just see how that goes. Oh, they do have fighters up here. Okay, so I think, yeah, so we have our units into Khyber-Tai. They're being counterattacked by some cavalry. That'll get beaten off pretty soon here. 5th Armored is behind Lvov, which is what we wanted to see. And then 5th Motorized is right behind them. We're going to actually use a component of 5th Motorized to attack Lvov directly, because I can tell they don't have too much in the city right now. Okay, they're going to do support attack on that one. Balti. The terrain for the Soviet defense down in southern Ukraine is actually really good because they have all these rivers that provide nice defensive positions. They're not so lucky up here. Okay. I'm also expecting these Barbarossa episodes to take about 2 hours, since we're down to 1 speed now. I think 1 hour, 15-minute videos are going to be a little bit short, so. Okay, 2nd Panzer Corps is defending against some cavalry counterattacks. Let's get KG3 also ground attacking right there. We really got to break through there quickly. And KG4. Okay, 5th Panzer is attacking a Soviet headquarters unit behind Lvov. That should shatter pretty quickly. We also have 15th Infantry Corps almost in position. Things in Romania are improving a little bit. They don't have actually too much units down here. Okay, we're losing some convoys in the Baltic, I think. Or some convoy escorts, I can't quite tell. Oh god, yeah, these huge groups of submarines are really concerning me. Let's see. SKG-1. Naval strike. Naval strike. Just checking something here. Yeah. Naval bombers are much better at this role. That's why I'm building some, but we're not going to have them until 1943. Okay, there's our 4th SS motorized division. This corps is not ready to go yet, so we'll just keep them in reserve. How's this attack going? Not bad. Oh, so we didn't even need to really, I mean, we want to surround these units, but we didn't even need to surround Lvov, actually. We were able to get 2 motorized units into the city. We'll see if the Soviets can move in something before we're able to get in there, but I doubt it. These are both moving at 7.5 kilometers an hour. They're wasting some of their best units down here, attacking across the river into Poland. Not ideal. Let's just make sure we're not missing anything up here. So very good. Okay, we've broken over the border at Augusto. It seems like the majority of the Soviet Air Force is in the Baltics right now, because we're not really being challenged down here at all. We're down to about 2/3 strength on these multi-role groups, so just keep an eye on them. Okay, Soviet medium bombers and Memel. Yeah, if we can catch their bombers on their own, we just shred them. Krasny and Kirbatai. So 5th Corps is now in Krasny. Our infantry corps has shown up, so we're going to get 71st, 72nd, and 73rd to immediately attack across the river. 4th and 5th will actually support the attack to their north to give a little bit of an envelopment bonus right there. And then Kirbatai, it still says we're under attack. Oh, bombing of Kirbatai. Okay. 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th are going to attack across the river to their north to give an envelopment bonus to 3rd Corps. Major victory. So these major victory, what am I trying to say? These major victory notices are basically telling us, yay, congratulations, you won a big battle. And more than that, it gives us some benefits to organization regain rate, land organization, and then we lose war exhaustion. So you really gain war exhaustion when you're losing battles over and over and over, which kind of makes sense. Excellent. We won the Battle of Tarage, which is that really crucial battle that gets 1st Panzer through the frontier. Are naval strikes even happening? Naval strike. They are. Oh my god, that's so many subs. 19. I think our Stukas can technically attack naval targets too. Maybe their naval attack is actually a little bit higher. They just don't have very good range. That's the killer. We're not really doing too much damage though. Our 38 class destroyers, the ones we started the game with our current technology, have a sub-detection value of 24. And then our new destroyers have a sub-detection value of... It's the same. Okay. I don't think light cruisers are very good at it, and I don't think heavy cruisers can do it at all. Okay, we got a big battle in Mariampol. let's see what we can get going with STG2. We also have this infantry corps available, so they'll do a support attack right there, and then these three will just head north. 7th Corps is defending against a counterattack. Any changes down here? Not really. Oh, well, 5th Panzer Corps is going to get into Krasny in, well, it says like a day, but I think it's sooner than that. This isn't always accurate. Being attacked in Tarage. Okay, that was a counterattack that failed. Okay, 1st Panzer Corps is heading that direction. Conclusions after victory. This is saying that we've learned some skills that can apply to deep battle doctrine, so let's just check that really quick. Let's see, deep battle. Division headquarters. I think that wasn't available before. Let's get that going. Defense in depth is going to come in handy later. Political indoctrination helps our SS units, and I think that's it. Yep. Okay. We can actually use these multi-role, obviously, in the name. For ground attack, I just don't want to waste their strength on that yet until we have air superiority. Okay, so we're getting counterattacked in Zolcu by their 10th Armored Division. That's one tank division with a 3 frontage on a 18 frontage battlefield versus a fully stacked like 20 divisions. So that's going to melt really quick. I haven't really explained combat frontage yet. I think I'll do that in a dedicated piece of a future video. It just has to do with how many units can effectively fit on the battlefield, and it depends on where you're attacking from and where you're attacking to. I think there's some technologies and doctrine that make your panzer divisions a little bit less frontage so that they have like a more narrow attack window. And also, if you have more divisions and then you have frontage, divisions go in reserve, and or they come out of reserve, but the attack effectiveness isn't really scaling past a certain number of units. And then terrain obviously plays a big role. We're attacking into forests, so that is a little bit of a detractor for our tank divisions. But you can see our overall modifier for attack is over 100% still, so it's not too bad. Just worried about my air units. They're all still doing okay. Okay, we won our first battle in Romania. Just make sure Romania is actually attacking the Soviets. They are. That's a component of that Barbarossa decision. I think it just makes the Romanians and the Hungarians attack them too. We have a decision called Destiny that gives us an effect through the 24th of October to increase our manpower modifier, which isn't really an issue right now. We have 2,000. Lowers some IC crude oil and leadership, but gives us hard attack, soft attack, and air intercept efficiency, and I think those are all worth it right now. And then this spawns some decisions that I probably should have checked earlier, so we'll go with... Barbarossa is already hard. I don't want to make it harder. I'll go with normal. And that's a little thing talking about how massive this invasion was historically. It's the largest land invasion in human history, so pretty big deal. Second corps is going to head toward Riga, and I'll just parcel out these infantry divisions to hold the land behind the armor. And then we need to get 1 through 3rd motorized headed north ASAP. They're not needed right here. Okay, southern Finland is falling quickly. I'm not surprised by that. We're still having... Yeah, LG2 needs to recover for a bit. We're still having some issues with supply up here. Heinola. Yeah. I was thinking about putting like an infantry corps in Helsinki just to hold it, but I'm actually not convinced that I could hold it. I think the Soviets initially have so many divisions in here, I might just be wasting 5 divisions that would be better used down here. And I think that's the right decision. Finland, southern Finland is strategically irrelevant. If we capture or surround Leningrad, and we're able to capture Murmansk, then they're only really going to be able to supply their units in Finland through the really crappy terrain in the Petrozavodsk area, and that's any division they have in Finland at that point is just wasted. It'd be better off somewhere else. We're somehow avoiding these death stacks. We'll just let them do their thing. Okay, Augusto. Yeah, you'll notice the AI counterattacks you pretty quickly, so you have to keep your orders kind of flowing, otherwise you're going to end up defending before you realize what's going on. Okay, things are going well here. We're almost through Zambro. And that'll get us 2 armored corps into the rear of Brest-Litovsk. And there we go. So that division shattered. You can see it disappeared. So it's now somewhere in Moscow, and it has to be rebuilt. And then 3rd motorized is going to immediately assist with this attack. And then 3rd Panzer is just going to head due east. Whereas our infantry corps will just do some supporting attack orders. They're going to move pretty slow anyway. Things are slow down here. Not a big deal. We can't make a continuous front until 5th Army and 3rd Panzer get a little further east anyway. We lost Helsinki. Yeah, bummer. Okay, let's start attacking across the river. At the very least, this gives us combat experience. I don't think these attacks are going to work right off the bat. Okay, they were able to move some heavy armor and motorized units into Lvov, so let's cancel that attack. And they'll just head east to Krasny along with everybody else. We caught some Soviet subs there, I think. We really got to be careful, though. I don't want to get hit by this entire stack all at once. I'm going to move STG-1 to naval strike where our fleet is. How's this attack going? Remember, we really need to pull off encirclements for this to work, so we gotta keep our eyes out for opportunities for that. I see one right here. You can see one infantry corps attacking frontally is only getting a 14 value, and as soon as we engage these units behind the Soviets, that value should go up quite a bit because we're going to get an envelopment bonus. Major victory in Lamza, and in fact, in that case, it just made the Soviets start to flee, which works too. Okay, these can just keep going east. Okay, 3rd Panzer's in the rear, and they'll be in Nauru in a little under 3 days. Okay, STG-2, let's pull back. Okay, our fighters are doing okay for the moment. Okay. 2nd Panzer Corps is over in Mariupol, and they're going to try to cross the river right away. Okay, we're about to be hit by some more subs. We'll just do naval strike on just to maximize our forces in the Eastern Baltic. How soon will they be in Kadiadori's? A day and change? It's not bad. Okay, we're really making some progress over here. Let's keep issuing orders for 5th Panzer to head southeast roughly. They'll be ready to attack again in 45 hours. Not really that great, but not terrible. First Mountain's still doing just fine. Done some damage to both those tank divisions. Oh, so the Soviets have abandoned the border here, so does that let me... Yeah, okay, 7th will go to Salah, and 6th we'll see how far it can get east toward Kandalashka. Gonna turn that order off. It's not really working anyway. Okay, we're being counterattacked in Tarage. That won't work, it's just one infantry division. Okay, we caught some more subs. This is going to be just sort of this revolving submarine battle. And I just want to watch out for our destroyers getting too damaged because they're what has our sub-detection ability. Also, Graf Spee is getting hit. Interesting. Oh, we captured Palanga. I'm going to head straight north to Lepaha just to try to get these ports captured. 3rd Infantry can support the attack south of them. Okay, 2nd Panzer has a completely unobstructed route to the Daugavapills. Daugavapills. I can't pronounce that. 2nd Motorized is in position. They'll cover that crossing. And then I'm going to send 8th, 9th, and 10th down to Vilno. Kind of like that. Okay, let's just make sure we got orders issued to all of our motorized stuff. Okay, STG-3 is going to attack here, along with STG-4. KG-3 will... I'm not sure yet about KG-3. I'm going to just leave that off for now. Okay. Alright, I don't think these motorized divisions are helping much. Let's get them going south as well. Sunk 2 submarines. Alright, let's send, I'm going to send 4th Fleet into Palanga just to see if I can recover some organization on Graf Spee. 21st, 23rd. Okay, this motorized unit's in position. 24th and 25th will just hold this. Let's see if we can get 21st through 23rd down to Hussein. I can't pronounce that. Grossdeutschland is going to attack here. 101st, 102nd needs to beeline across the river. Something like that. Okay, yeah, we're rapidly losing Finland, but we kind of knew that was going to happen. Let's get this army headed up to Narvik. How's my... I guess I'll get KG-3 and 4 to help right here, just so we can get south of Brest. Third Panzer, pretty decent speed, and considering it's forested terrain. Woods. We're not going to really speed up until we get to Minsk. We talked about that already. I think we got an encirclement chance right here. I have to get into Kaunas first. Okay, we won Battle of Kasiadores. I think that's that. Yeah, they got an armored division right there. Okay, 5th Panzer, let's see if we can get to Kaunas. Just turn off our battle plan just for a second. I can see better. I'm kind of used to having it on though, just so we don't forget what our objectives are. Okay. Eastern, okay. Sink another sub. Lost province of Junka. Okay, we're about to capture Sala. Okay. losing convoys left and right in the Baltic, but I can't do much about that right now. Our air strength is still doing just fine. Supply. I guess I'll get a supply run going to... Looks like we got a little bit of a weakness showing up right here. Okay, there's the supply run going. Okay, I'm gonna disengage these motorized units and send them east. Through 23. We really need to break through right here too, so let's just support that attack from the north. Okay, the Soviets are retreating. I don't know, their recovery time is just so bad. I don't know if we're going to get 4th and 5th Panzer into Kaunas before they're able to retreat into it. So, it's not great. Okay, we won this battle here. Okay, all this infantry can just head east. Okay, we're going to start attacking here just to hold these divisions in place. Maybe we can get them surrounded. Okay, 3rd Panzer Corps, or this is 4th actually, head east. 46th, 47th, 48th head east. 49th and 50th support the attack on Brest. Okay, we sunk more subs. Okay, 3rd is going to head that way. 4th and 5th are going to attack that. Okay, these guys head east as well. These guys are across the river. These guys across the river. One Battle of Malorta. Okay, so we're south of Brest now, so let me just turn these air missions off. Loads. Loads. Great. Okay, 4th motorized is going to head north, kind of like that. And then 60... 58th, 7th, and 6th will attack north. 59th and 60th can aid the attack on Brest. Okay. Make sure orders are issued to all of these. And I'll be shocked if we get across this river for with no this is like the best defensive position the Soviets have, east or west of Odessa, so it'd be incredible if I'm able to get units across and all these fortifications end up being irrelevant. Let's see, Shrodo. Marech. Okay. Okay, 3rd Panzer is in Nauru, and they're defending right now. Oh, that's right. I don't have any units attached to that. Let's turn that attack off. Let's turn that attack off. These are all Finnish stuff we're losing. Okay, great. So 4th Panzer Corps is now north of Brest. You can see our supply issue is solved here. Okay, 6th, 7th, and 8th heading that way. 9th heading this way. 10th will head north. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd will head north. 4th and 5th motorized. We'll keep them here just to help out 1st Corps. I don't think we lose any strategic materials in southern Finland. Just a little bit of metal and rare materials. We did capture Sala. So there is a flank we need to protect here, so let's go logistics. I think I need to send 7th down to Suomussalmi. Otherwise, the Soviets could technically outflank these divisions here. 6th under Kubler, we'll just keep heading east. We're making progress. As long as they don't move more divisions into here, I'm not thinking we're going to lose that one. Okay, they got units into Kaunas, so armored units attacking that city by themselves are not going to do that great. Let's just get out and around it. We'll use 3rd Corps to attack that city directly. Keep going, do not stop. Keep going. Okay, 21st and 22nd, 23rd are almost in Zlakjo. I think we're going to be able to make a crossing at Soroka as well. Chisnau and Kornesti are almost over. Most of their subs are down by Bornholm and Copenhagen. Good thing for us, because they're not doing much down there. Okay, maybe we can... STG-3 and 4 are going to attack here just to get us across the river. Eastern Baltic. Okay, 1st and 2nd Infantry are almost in Lepaha. Okay, we're being counterattacked by some Soviet armor. That'll actually weaken them pretty fast, so that's a good thing. And then we can issue orders to 3rd Corps to attack Kaunas. Just make sure all of our divisions are moving. Okay, 3rd Corps is available, so let's just keep in mind that terrain, remember? Let's head kind of like that. That's 4th Corps, sorry. 3rd Corps is about to finish defending. Okay. Looks like 4th Motorized has finished most of their battles over here. Kahul. Okay, we're going to send... I know they're not quite finished yet, but we're going to send 3rd and 4th down into the hole that we've created. Altius and Naru. Okay, that's a big breakthrough right here. Naru, Shodro, and Zluxo. Okay. Remember, our goal is this in encirclement, so we're going to keep going south to link up with part of 6th Army coming out of Norway of Romania. Second Infantry has captured Lepaha, which should force those Soviet units out into the eastern Baltic. I wish these warning signs would spawn more in the center of the screen. Rassani, good, and Mariampol, good. Second can keep... Oh, okay, looks like second's going to be defending for a second. Third Corps can attack now. They'll hit the cavalry division right there, which should melt pretty quick. Okay, 4th Corps is hitting a basically shattered cavalry division. Okay, they're gone. Okay, those Stukas really helped there. They can now assist with that river crossing. So we ran into a Soviet armored unit that has a river crossing to defend, so 6th Mountain's not going to be able to make it across right now. One trick is to get the AI to attack you and then waste all their energy attacking you. So now we're defending a river crossing, so maybe that's going to help us out. I'll keep this Raider here so we get a little bit of a shore bombardment bonus. Pan disease. Okay, we're making it through. Oh, bunch of stuff. Okay. German-Soviet commercial agreement is over. Yep, we know about that. This gives us the opportunity to spawn SS Panzer Brigades. Yes. Future Soviet Union, we're going to appoint Reichskommissars and long-range submarine class advance. That's great. Now we get the Spanish Blue Division, which just gives us... Is that it? Infantry regiment in central Germany. I don't know why. What I'll use that for. And then we get a Italian army in the Soviet Union. I'm going to move these down to Vienna. I'm going to move all this to Vienna just so it's out of the way. It's sucking up supplies as long as it's sitting in Berlin, and I don't want it doing that. This... we'll send this over to our Panzer unit in France just to beef it up a little bit. Okay, first and second are defending. Third's going to attack and see if we can get that defense to break off. One Bialystok. Okay. Fourth motorized is in the rear. Okay, those guys are headed north, so we need this corps to clear this area. I'll actually assist that attack just to get us over the river. Okay, we're getting held in place by these counterattacks, but they're sapping their strength to pull that off. So we'll send first SS due east. Okay, that motorized division is about to collapse. Yeah, now we can attack with first and second. Okay, we sunk a transport ship. Okay, fourth fleet's recovered, we can put them back. Okay, second fleet will go in, maybe we can recover Z-26 a little bit. Great. Okay, so this is big. So let's get second Panzer Corps headed northeast. But for now, we can try to get this surrounded. We'll send 9th, 10th, and 8th that way. 6th and 7th will head toward Wilno. We're getting a short bombardment bonus here. Minus 0.4%. I mean, I guess everything, it all adds up. Okay, let's start these ground attacks again. Okay, first, second, and third Panzer Grenadier can head northeast. For now, let's just get these to support that attack. And then I need to make some progress right here, so let's get STG-2. And 1 to strike. Wait, you're in Danzig. 10. STG-1 can rebase to Memel, so they're a little bit closer to things. Okay, making some serious progress. Okay, this corps is over the border, so they'll just head due east, and then actually they'll assist with the crossing down here. And then we need to get those same Stukas to help with that attack right there. And then 24th and 5th can assist also. Okay, that's done. 3rd Infantry can attack Saldus. this can go back out. I think I just saw that we had armor plating researched. Where does armor plating show up in here? Okay, 39. We definitely want that. Okay, these attacks out down here are not really going anywhere, but we're holding units in place, so that's worth something. Okay, we won Cornesti, and I've kind of let things slide down here. Let's get this attack supported. 112 through 113 go that way. You go this way. You go that way. And if we can get into Ovidio Pool, we'll surround these units that are just hanging out down there. Okay, the Hungarians have broken into Stanislav. That'll help with our encirclement quite a bit. We're still being held here by that counterattack. It's going to fail. Let's assist this attack here. Got a problem here. I need to attack south with these 3 divisions to hold those in place. Okay, that has abated, so I can attack northeast again. And then infantry can attack northeast along with motorized. And then I'm not sure why these guys are taking so long to recover, but they can attack. Our first SS motorized corps is now in this armored battle that's happening here. I should say armored on my side. They don't have any armor. I mean, their infantry looks like it has some tanks incorporated into it because it has an armor value. These guys might break and run when we get units into Porik. We'll see. Grossdeutschland is attacking across the river, and that's not working super well. So maybe we'll do something like that. Yeah, there's the Hungarians, so now we just need to get to Rohat, and all these are cut off. Okay, 10th, 8th, 9th, and 10th are in position, and it looks like we're going to get a envelopment in Kaunas. That'll free up 10 infantry divisions once that's done. 8th will be in Jonava in a day. 5th will be at 2 a.m. We're going to succeed in cutting these off. 10th. Okay, 8th Corps is in Bialystok. They can just keep going east. Oh, fantastic. So we finally broke through over here. And at Premish. These two. Okay. This corps is going to attack Lvov directly. 5th Panzer is still held up in this area. They're not able to move because they're defending. Great. Okay, we got our first kind of decent encirclement in Kaunas. Send 5th Panzer north. They don't need to be attacking that way anymore. Nice. Okay, we're right next to Riga now. So we're starting to capture Latvia. Lithuania is basically ours once we finish Kaunas. And if we can get first motorized around the back of Riga like that, we can surround all these units too. Swedish volunteers. Yeah, I'll piece these out to our stuff in France too. We don't really need them elsewhere. Okay, 7th Mountain has captured Sumo Salmi. And then oh, they can go that way. I wonder what happens if 7th Mountain can make it all the way to Kiev. Let's just roll with that and see what happens. Their 8th Tank Division up here is about to have to retreat. Yeah, 4th Panzer is just doing a really nice job of getting north here. We'll send part of 2nd Motorized due east for a moment just to help with that encirclement. Actually, well, no. 7th and 6th are going to go for the river crossing. That's the highest priority. And then I guess 8th will do that. And then 9th and 10th will go a little bit east. Okay. Great. Okay, that's over the river. You're going to attack that way. You're going to attack that way. You're going east. And you're going east. And you're ground attacking. I don't know if that's already been issued or not. Yeah, it's already issued. Okay. That should shatter in a minute. We might even be able to get a small encirclement right here. We just really need to get into Rohatyn or Hussein if I can get these units to be available again. They're moving units into Diviopol. We'll see who gets there first. Third. Okay, motorized is... Okay, we're getting up toward the river up here as well. Okay, let's just clean up our technology real quick. Okay, I don't need that. Submarines and small ships. Alright. Okay, well, 8th and 10th are going that way. 6th and 7th will go that way too. th 17th. We're a little bit slow down here. I need to get units behind our 4th Panzer Corps so they don't get cut off themselves. It's possible 4th Motorized can accomplish that for us by itself, but I'd like to get this infantry going. Routine and Diviopol. Oh, yeah, they got to the Diviopol before us. Or no, they did, and then they immediately retreated. That's what that was saying. So, should be able to just move. Yeah, nice. Looks like we've also won Tier S pole, so these units will be cut off. Yeah, 3rd Motorized is moving a little bit slower than I'd like. I'd like them to kick it into high gear. We still need to still need to finish this battle right here. When is Osmania? Sixth, 7th, and 8th can just attack Riga directly. Okay, they got Marines in the city. Okay, there's that. Thank God. Okay, Rastenburg, that's done. And then you're going to attack across. You can assist that attack. Motorized, just keep going. Don't stop moving. Yeah, I am not going to get stuck in the marshes though. Our infantry can slog in there. I don't want our motorized to slog through the marshes. That would be a waste. Yep. Man, yeah, we got a lot of units almost cut off right here. It's just a shame we can't push it the whole way. Looks like we did cross the river here. I'll send 2nd SS this way. Okay, these units will be engaged soon. 7th Mountain found a bunch of headquarters units that it can scare away. That's handy. LG2 is ground attacking. Okay, we're almost done with this video. Let's talk about what we've accomplished so far. We've surrounded a bunch of their frontier units in Kaunas, Lithuania. They'll surrender soon. We're about to cut off the northern part of Latvia and either capture or surround Riga. Most of 2nd Panzer Army is about to break into the terrain, the nice terrain south of Minsk. We've surrounded or about to surround some units in Brest, although I think mostly they're just shattering. 3rd Panzer Army has pushed into the rear of Lvov, but they've been held up a little bit by counterattacks. And then 6th Army has forced crossings of both of these rivers in southwestern Ukraine. The air battles are going pretty well. Naval battles are pretty much a stalemate here. The Soviets control a lot of the, at least with submarines, a lot of the Baltic, and I'm just hoping to pick them off slowly with our Navy in the eastern Baltic. We've lost most of southern Finland. We're hoping to hold on to central Finland and maybe even cut off Murmansk down south, and or just capture it outright up north with 1st Mountain Corps. In the next video, we'll try to get an encirclement of Minsk and cross the Daugava River, which will be a pretty important step in getting to Leningrad. So thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it, and hit the like button. Leave comments. Let me know if you would do things differently, both in terms of movement and division comp. It's always interesting to talk about that kind of thing. And thanks again. I'll see you next time.